Oh, there's a great fantasy writer, Anne Ursu. Breadcrumbs is one of her most recent. And she is such a smart writer and so wonderful. And so we teach at Howland together. And I gave her one afternoon a sort of my anti-fantasy lecture, soapbox. You know, the whole thing about why does every fantasy have a quest? Why are there always like the wise guy with the long white beard and the funny shoes who gives sage advice? Why are there the three kids who go off, two guys and a girl? I mean, the Harry Potter trio, which is replicated time and time. You know, I mean, it's all so... Why is it that no matter how advanced the society is, no matter how technologically advanced it is, what do they fight with? They fight with swords. Really? Really? I mean, since the 14th century, but they're fighting with swords? Come on. You know, so I'm just going on and giving her this really hard time. And she goes, well, why don't you write one, jerk? And I go, okay, I will. And she goes, okay, then do it. And so I decided to do it without the kind of, to try to do it without the sort of stuff I just mentioned. And then I decided to fool around with language. I thought it would be fun to fool around with the language and to make the book kind of hard, in a sense, so it's not just, it's kind of a hard book, I think, because you have to learn a language as you're going through it. So it was sort of experimental. I put it in a really, a place I love, Plymouth, Massachusetts, a great town. Obviously the metaphor there is coming to a new world, and we have two worlds that are coming together. But I wanted to place it there just because I love Plymouth, and I thought it'd be just right. And it's such a cool place. Anyway, so all that was coming together, and I also wanted a good father, because I've had a bunch of books where there are difficult fathers. I wanted one that could be really amazingly supportive but hurt, and he is a kind of hurt guy, but he's still amazingly supportive, and put the story together and see if it works. And so that was it, yeah. That was fun to do. It was really meant to be an experiment, though. It is probably the last fantasy I will ever do. But why not once? You know, I don't want to be the guy that just writes the same book again. I'm really sensitive about that. And when I think about Maurice Sendak, isn't part of his greatness the fact that he tried so many different things, so many different forms, so that you can pick up one Maurice Sendak book, or 5 different ones, and if you didn't know, you could say, wow, these must be 5 different artists. That's tremendous. That's brilliant. And I kind of want to be the guy that can try different sorts of things. So I've done biographies for kids, and I've done picture books, though I don't like picture books so much, and then the fantasy, but mostly, you're right, it's mostly realism.